we have awards to give out to some of our board members today. So we're just gonna do this one right now. There are others that are coming. All right. First of all, we would like to present our certificate of appreciation to Heidi Lemon. Heidi has been she's done this for 10 years, being the ex officio for her department. Thank you for your dedication. We have certificate of appreciation for you. We look forward to continued work with you.
Thank you, Heidi. Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah,
Whenever you're ready, Ms. Latifah.
awesome sauce. Okay, so we'll start with, I'm gonna time myself. 5 minutes. So you'll see me look at this ever so often. I want to make sure that I'm not a part of any reason to get out here any later. Really quick pop quiz. This can't be for a communications or strategic partnership committee member, at least at first. Hopefully someone will get this outside of that. What does the P stand for within the CSP network? And you'll get a little mini gift from one of our sponsors.
What's your question? Sorry.
What does the P stand for within the corporate CSP network? But just you raise their hand. Partnerships?
Wait, her. What are you saying?
What does the P stand for in the CSP network?
Oh, I thought it was corporate social partnership.
Okay,
I need my
who said
turn.
LaShan?
Adam raised his hand. He worded it too out of his thought.
Okay, clearly I have to just like have multiple books now. So this will be for LaShan. Because this is, I said LaShan first. Yeah, this is from the Predators, one of our members. I'm gonna keep sitting down if that's okay.
Of course. Yeah, LaShan.
Okay, so I will be quick. What is the CSP network? For those who do not know, at its heart, it is a space for business, corporate, civic anchor institutions to come together to support the state of Tennessee. This is across industries, so you're talking healthcare, utilities, sports industries, predators, entertainment, you name it, and then also across various roles. I'm gonna keep looking at my phone for time. So that is volunteer engagement, philanthropy. We don't say DI, but belonging is what we use now, sustainability, etc. And so these folks come together, they are sharing ideas, building relationships, and working towards a greater impact for the state of Tennessee. So because of time, I want you to check out the one pager on your table and then review that as you will. You also have a postcard that we can talk about in a second. But that basically is what we do, who we are, what we're trying to build. But I'm gonna get to you in this final 3 minutes why it matters now. This is definitely worth leaning into. I think that the commission, we believe that the commission is uniquely positioned to nurture something like this. If we believe that businesses have a vital role in what the future of Tennessee kind of looks like, then it is worth looking at how we invest in the infrastructure of supporting folks showing up to do this type of work. So, I think we all know this. It is not currently in the budget. And I think everyone in this room understands the financial constraints that come with public entities historically in the AmeriCorps space. But I think we can still ask a couple of really important questions. One, how do we prioritize this? The commission's already decided its initiative. How do we prioritize? I think another question to think about is what is possible when we think about strategic staffing, strategic partnerships, and then also how do we keep up the momentum, and move this from this super cool idea to something that will be a statewide engine of sorts. So these are the 3 questions I hope the commission will think of. You have a postcard on your table. 2 events have happened so far. Again, we could talk events another time, all the things that are happening. You can check out the QR code, mission, vision, pillars, all the great things. But I want to implore this group, this fabulous body, is if it resonates with you, if you think that businesses, again, this is a good space for us to be involved in, and it's good to help them connect across the state. If we want to be, serious, I think, about how we're building a service plan for the state of Tennessee, then we have to really intentionally think about how we support these folks. And I'm going to close. There's a proven hunger for this work from the folks that we've been working with. And we have to make sure that it's not built on sand. We have to make sure that there's something behind it, because this has the opportunity to be potentially one of the most powerful service tools in the state. One of the most powerful service tools in the state, because we have many already. That'll be done. I don't think we have time for questions and items, but I just wanted to make sure that the commission understands what we're doing and what you all have been doing for a while. Yeah, thank you.
And please, if you have questions or comments, please get in touch with Latifah, because we really do want to continue with your efforts on this. Did you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I'll commend Latifah, and other staff have also been involved, but Latifah, for definitely spearheading. It's been a heavy lift, and she has done a great job of rallying the troops being these amazing philanthropy corporate partners across the state. There's a lot more work to be done, but Latifah's done an awesome job. So just Latifah, thank you so much for that. And on the flip side of that, I'll echo what Latifah said there at the end. We spend a lot of time talking about our mission, right, to increase volunteerism and volunteer engagement at the state level. We cannot do that. I'll reiterate, we cannot do that if we aren't simultaneously supporting the organizations that are funding and hosting the volunteers. We can say all day long, we want more volunteers, but if there's not opportunities for them to serve and people funding those opportunities, the work can't happen. So initiatives like CSP and others that may seem out of our lane at face value, they're not. They're right where we're supposed to be, and they're right in our lane. So please continue to think innovatively, right? It's the innovative idea. It's come to fruition. It's got a lot of support. I think there's a lot more things like CSP on the horizon if we're willing to reach out and drive to it. So thank you, Linda.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, we're gonna start our business meeting, and I believe we do have a quorum today, so that's gonna help us. We're not gonna have to do a roll call vote every time. Yay! Win. Just tell me when you're ready.
Kim and Ms. Perry, can you all clarify for some of our new members as far as voting and how they vote and should be voting and depend on and all that?
Thank you.
Okay. So this is our business meeting, and everyone who is here as a, how do we word it in our state plan? Government appointed participants, commissioners will vote. And today, and we're going to check a quorum in just a minute, but today we're going to do our votes by, after we have our presentation of number 1, we've got to approve the minutes, we've got to approve the state plan. The way we'll do this is we will bring up on the board what we need to the show. I'll ask if there are any questions or any comments. We'll vote by either yay or nay. If we don't have a quorum, we'll have to do a roll call vote. We'll call out everybody's name and hear your yay or nay. Our secretary, Jessica, will record the votes. We're going to vote on some funding issues, the AmeriCorps formula funding recommendations from the grants committee. Eileen will give us a brief presentation of what that's about, which ends health, I imagine. And AmeriCorps funding timeline revision, which we had to do. We also have the election of our 2026 officers. The Board Development Committee this year developed an application process by which you could apply for any position. And they have pulled together those applications and have a slate of officers that they'll present to us, and we'll vote on those. Let's see. I believe that's about it. And then we have, at the very end, we've got a little bit of time for certificates that we're going to give out, awards for those who have served. And then we will call the meeting adjourned. Did that answer your question? Please tell me if it did, because. Go ahead.
Kind of.
Okay,
Okay, could I add a qualifier?
please.
So, all of the governor appointed commissioners are voting members, but so are you. By both the federal statute and the executive order, the representative of the State Department of Education is a voting ex officio member.
Are there other ex officio members who are voting?
No.
No. No. I'm not.
Now, what the commission has typically done when we do the roll call, the secretary will call the voting members first and then call the ex officio. The ex officio votes, though, are more just an advisory vote. They can't help us reach quorum. They can't sway the results of the vote, but we do like to hear their opinion on what's being presented, but yours is actual a vote.
Thank you for clarification.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jen.
That's-
Appreciate that. Any other questions or concerns? Yes, Jen.
I was just gonna clarify, sometimes when we don't have quorum physically present, that's when we have to do the roll.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
That is true.
We have by state statute, if you don't have a in-person quorum, you have to do a roll call vote if you're allowing online participation. Sorry, that's a lot of things added together. So we should have an in-person quorum today, which means we can do, instead of having to do the roll call vote, like Terry said, we can just do a voice vote, which is a time saver.
Any further clarification needed? You good? Okay. Are you gonna start recording?
It should be, let me double check, but I think I started it.
It's recording.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you. It was just.
Our first order of business is to confirm a quorum. There are currently 24 voting members, so we will need 13 voting members for a quorum. Ms. Jessica, could you please do a roll call for us?
Yes, ma'am. George Bovee. Destiny Brown.
Present.
Kim Carpenter Drake. She was here.
You might want to come back to Kim. She's showing online, but she's not here in person.
Okay. Stephanie Davis.
Present.
Nathan Farner.
Present.
Terry Frank. Amy Gillian. Katie Goforth.
Present.
Rebecca Henderson. Andrea Hill. James Hogard.
James Hoggard is here.
Holly Jones. Lizette Lopez. Greg Lyles.
Here.
Lee Moten. Patricia Powell.
Here.
Jason Scott.
Here.
Terry Silver.
Here.
Tracy Vandevate.
Here.
Amy Walter. Betty White.
Here.
Krista Whitney.
Here.
Eileen Woolham.
Here.
Yvonne Wood.
Here.
Suzanne Carr. LaShawn Dixon,
Here.
DeShonta Gleaton,
Present.
Adam Jarvis,
Present.
Caroline Ledley, Heidi Lemming, Nestor Reyes,
Present. Present.
Nancy Sheelan, and then Jessica Youngbloom here. I just want to confirm, Heidi, is Heidi there? Did she say present?
She left.
Okay, I just want to make that. And then the other one I wasn't sure of is Amy Walter.
She left as well.
Okay, cool.
What about Kim?
Kim put in the chat that she's here.
Perfect. Do we have a quorum?
We have 15 voting members.
And how many in person?
We have 15 in-person members. Sorry. So we have 20 members in total, but 15 that count for a quorum.
And one of those is online, so I think that gives us 14 in person. Which gives us an in-person forum, I believe.
Yes.
Thank you, Jessica.
Yep.
Our first order of business activity is approval of the minutes of the meeting on August the 8th, 2025. You should have received a link to these minutes last week and a copy today with your packet. Let's take just a minute and review. Does anyone have any corrections or additions? Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
Nathan? Betty, second? All in favor? Yay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Any opposed? Nay? Okay, thank you. Jim, would you please give us your director's report?
Sure, thank you.
Thank you.
So, a couple things. As you all probably know, there's a government shutdown. Unless you've been under a rock in a cave at the bottom of the ocean. So far that has not impacted Volunteer Tennessee or Volunteer Tennessee's partner programs. And we don't expect that it will, because all of the money for Volunteer Tennessee's operations and the pass-through money that goes out to the partners in the community was under last year's appropriations and so it's already been approved by Congress, and the money has already been granted to Volunteer Tennessee. So we don't expect any interruptions to the current program year or the current operations for Volunteer Tennessee. But that doesn't mean to say that there aren't lots of challenges associated with the shutdown for folks at the local levels, particularly members. The AmeriCorps members get a very, very small living allowance. It's not a whole lot of money, and a lot of those members rely on things like food stamps to be able to do their year of service, because it really is just a small amount of money. So that's having an impact for individual members at the local level. The appropriations for the federal fiscal year that we're in right now that hasn't been approved, which is why we're in the shutdown, because they haven't approved that budget yet. The Senate version would essentially be level funding. The House version would cut the program AmeriCorps funding by about half. The president's budget includes essentially wind down funding for the agency. I would expect that out of all of this stuff, that probably what will happen once they do end the shutdown is that there would be a continuing spending resolution that essentially would be last year's funding, which would be level funding. They may make some tweaks here and there, but usually when they do what's called a CR, is they just use last year's budget and say, this is what you have for this year. Because I think it's unlikely that they're going to be able to do individual appropriations for individual federal agencies, especially since we're already in November. So that would be good if we're funded at last year's levels. It would be level funding. So that's good news. So one note, I'll kind of moving off of AmeriCorps, the executive committee created an ad hoc committee to look at the process by which donations to Friends of Volunteer Tennessee flow to Volunteer Tennessee, and how that process works. And so they formed an ad hoc committee, and I think that ad hoc committee would probably welcome anybody else who wants to be on that ad hoc committee. So if you're interested in that, just talk to Nathan. He's chairing that committee. The first meeting is the 17th.
Next week. Got the date, I believe, that Monday.
I believe it's Monday.
Oh, the 10th. Yes, sorry. It's it's Monday. So if you're interested in being on that committee, just let Nathan know, and then I can forward you the meeting invitation. I will say, just as a side note, we're switching over to using WebEx Webinar, and it will be our first time using that for that meeting. So just be patient as we figure that new system out. Let's see. The Governor's Volunteer Stars Awards and the Tennessee Conference on Volunteers and Service Learning, the dates are set for March 8th and 9th. So the GVSA will be on the 8th, which is Sunday. We're trying to figure out how to do the conference instead of having the conference Monday, Tuesday, having it start Sunday afternoon and be all day Monday and then be done. We discussed this a little bit earlier when Destiny asked about if the changes to the conference would help attendance. That's one of our goals, is to try and help attendance, but also we think it will potentially be a little less expensive if we do a Sunday, Monday, because we're already using the space on Sunday for the Governor's Volunteer Stars Awards. So just mark that down in your calendar.
Are we at the same place?
Yes, it's going to be at the same place, the Franklin Marriott. Yeah. The last thing I'd like to note is the last year, Friends of Volunteer Tennessee applied for a small grant for a member assistance fund, and Friends matched that money with some of its own money to be able to help AmeriCorps members who were having some sort of financial difficulty during their term of service. And this is for the 24-25 service year that ended a few months ago. But there were 5 applications that were funded. A total of 12 were received. And they distributed $750 out of that fund. And you can see here the breakdowns. Most of it was for transportation, and then there's a couple other things: medical, housing, demographics. Take a look at that. Most of these were fairly young folks, and you can see they were the split part-time, full-time. A little more than half were part-time members. And I think that's it for it lists the programs where the members were that actually got money. Anyway, this is a good thing. There's money still left in that fund because we didn't use all of it, and it's continuing into this year. And so we expect, with all of the stuff that's going on that I mentioned earlier, difficulties for AmeriCorps members, that hopefully folks will take advantage of this. So I just wanted to note this as a great thing that Volunteer Tennessee has done in partnership with Friends and with America's Service Commissions, because America's Service Commissions worked to get the the application process for the matching funds was through America's Service Commissions. And so we got a small grant from them to get this going.
Jim, in light of the situation at the federal level, do we want to remind our AmeriCorps members that we do have this as a fallback for them? I don't know how much funding is left over. There's just a couple of dollars, and there's no sense doing it. But if there's some significant funding left, maybe you want to reach out to programs to remind them.
I believe that went out at the beginning of the program year to the AmeriCorps program managers. I mean, we can send it. Typically what we would do is we'd send it a couple reminders during the year.
I'm just thinking because it's now.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't remember when the last time we reminded them about it, but we can certainly send out a reminder. Yeah, so anyway, I think that's, yeah, sorry, one last thing I did, the person who was supposed to do the inspirational moment sent me some statistics this is for the United Way of South Central Tennessee, which covers, Rutherford County and I think Cannon County. And I think one more county, sorry, I don't remember right offhand which one it is. But through their Tennessee Serves subportal, they had 110 agencies registered. And for the volunteers, they had 4,400 registered volunteers. And they also use the platform for their days of action. So their Stuff the Bus, Baby Basics, and their volunteer week. So just a couple things for the person who was supposed to come and tell us a little bit about how they're using the Tennessee Serves portal.
Thank you, Jim, and thanks for all your hard work. We really appreciate it. And now I'd like to call on James to give us an update on Friends, please.
Thank you all for your time, and I just appreciate it. It's a real honor to be on that commission, and on top of that, to be elected chair of Friends of Volunteer Tennessee. And last month, I conducted our first Friends of Volunteer board meeting as chair. I appreciate the board being so supportive because I'm just lying by the seat of my pants. But having been on the board, and I appreciate all the members over the past few years, I've learned a lot from them over those 2 years. As new chair, I took an effort to start the new meeting, and I'd like to make it a part of our regular meeting to begin each board meeting with just a statement of the Friends of Volunteer. Just as a constant reminder before that this is the focus of any discussion that we have, that our mission be read by one of the members, and that is to encourage volunteerism and community service by supporting the programs, services of Volunteer Tennessee, and this includes fostering volunteerism through training, collaboration to address community needs. Just appreciate just the opportunity to start off every meeting being focused in that way. Now, we had some of the things that we've covered over the past year, particularly just last month, we had a scholarship recipient for the TNCBA scholarship sit in for an exam in the fall, for which Friends of Volunteer Tennessee awarded a $200 scholarship. The last balance as of the end of, this is important because we want to help Volunteer Tennessee in the programs, but we need funds to do that. And so as of the end of last month, we had a total of, well, as the end of September, actually, $4,469 in our budget. And for October, we generated a total of $1,665 in donations through Network for Good and an additional $85. And I don't have the permission. I asked permission for a board member here, but that person generously donated $200 yesterday, and I appreciate that very much. I hope that motivates us all to contribute what we can. Now, as you know, we had a volunteer specialty license plate program, and in order for that to be a success, we had to have at least 1,000 people sign up to purchase the license plate. And disappointingly, we didn't get to the 1,000-person goal, so we discontinued that initiative. And so we contacted those who have already purchased the license plate in advance, giving them the choice for full refund of the Friends, or Friends retaining their money, and we would send them the novelty version of the license plate put on the front of their cars Now, of the 119 people that initially made the orders, we've so far refunded 43. And so for those that did get don't get a refund, or at least they've acknowledged that they said you can keep our money, we are going to send them this plate to put on front of theirs, their cars. Disappointingly, the plates that were produced, I think we have 100 of them, came out not looking like a license plate it's so small. So we're currently in touch with the company that printed these and they've acknowledged that it's not up to standard. It's supposed to look like a license plate, fill the whole thing. So we'll know by the middle of this month whether they're going to redo these for us at no charge. And those that have already received this unusual looking plate, we would send them a new one. And
That's gonna be the collector's edition.
but I'm determined that we can make something creative out of this. If we snip it and round it out, turn it into a pencil holder, I don't care. We've got something. And we'll try to sell these at the upcoming conference in March, but also promote them in other ways. Now, talk about funding. We, one of our members, Jay Sanders, who works for Middle Tennessee Electric, he's in charge of charitable foundation, and he's generously making the effort to put forward that we would receive a $10,000 grant. And I know there's been a lot of questions like, well, if we get these funds, can we sit on them for a while in case suddenly Volunteer Tennessee needs them? And the feedback that we've gotten is he's not writing anything into the grant that would limit us from doing whatever we want with the funds. So, so at our next meeting, we'll be discussing like how we can use those resources, but at the earliest, maybe those resources would come in about January. Other issues, we want to step up. I want to be a little more ambitious that our Friends of Volunteer Tennessee can really be the support that our mission declares us to be a support to Volunteer Tennessee and the programs and initiatives that we're involved in. And in order to do that, we need to expand our visibility in the public in a variety of ways. So we're moving to expand. I've already made some business cards. I mean, I talked to our board and see if they approve of these, if they think they're suitable. But in my opinion, I think everybody on our board should have Friends of Volunteer business cards, be handing them out to let people know who we support and what we're all about. Communicate that on a regular basis. In addition, we've expanded our social media and we can pop that up. Jim's looking for that, but on Facebook, that's not ours.
That will take you to the donation.
That'll take you to the donation.
Yeah, I created the QR code a few minutes ago.
All right, to the donation. Okay.
We're gonna require that before you get your lunch next time.
Yeah. Appreciate that. This is our new Friends of Volunteer Tennessee Facebook page. And I set it up. There's our license plate as it should look. If you open it up on your page, you probably get the whole screen, or you can click on that and see what it looks like. And as soon as I set it up, I just went crazy. I went to Volunteer Tennessee and looked at all the organizations that we're supporting and promoting or partnering with. And I just started liking everything they do and following them. So I got up to 92 followings. And then from that, people started seeing I was sharing their stuff and I was celebrating their stuff, trying to write comments about the activities and volunteer activities that they're doing. And they started following. So I would encourage everyone, because the only way this works, I could share, but I'm just one person. The only way any of these posts get visibility is all of us getting on there and following it and clicking on it and liking. Just a single like goes a long way in making it more visible for a longer period of time on the internet. So we want to look for other platforms, sharing on our LinkedIn profiles and whatever we can to just get the word out. And I'm just amazed, I look at the stats, say on LinkedIn, every time I share something, it tells me how many people viewed it and which corporations they're from. And it tells me what part of the state or what type of industry they're from, whether it's state or tourism or whatever it is. And to me, that's very helpful. It's like, what did I include in that post that attracted these people to that particular post that they wanted to like it or applaud it or share it? And so, but if you're getting on there and liking it and sharing it, it's not to increase my popularity. I don't care at all. It's to make these, to celebrate volunteerism. And that's where we want to go for. In addition, we want to use some of the fundings that are coming in. I want to be involved in, not just myself, I would hope, at least one other person on our board could be a member of the State Chamber of Commerce, to be involved in interacting. I mean, it's one thing we do, we're doing it right now, virtual meetings, but nothing compares with meeting people face to face. And when you're involved in the Chamber of Commerce, when I was working for the Department of Labor and Workforce Development, I was there every week. I went to their orientation every week. Not because I had something new to learn, but I always met new people. And I was always engaging with new people and the other programs they go. So I think it's very important that we have a place at the table of the Chamber of Commerce. And it opens a lot of doors when you're a fellow member of the Chamber of Commerce and people are more interested in talking. In addition, we'll get a fancy table and we want a fancy tablecloth and we want to be involved in as many programs as possible. I think the week that I was elected chair, I went directly out to the park, Centennial Park in Nashville, and I went out and visited every volunteer at that volunteer week tables. They were so much fun. Every one of them had a story to tell. I took pictures with them. And I think this is the kind of engagement that we want to work on. And, I understand every member I'm not retired like me. I'm enjoying my retirement because I can get more involved. But whatever time we have and just sharing a business card or just talking it up or just liking something on Facebook goes a long way in promoting and celebrating volunteerism across Tennessee. And then lastly, we are moving we want to expand our Friends of Volunteer Tennessee in helping Candace and whatever she needs in her capacity to reach out to companies. I'll be talking next month about expanding our capacity to reach out to the county, what do you call them, county coordinators, and getting more counties involved and stirring up interest and just in any way we can to, and also the super volunteers, our capacity to help in that outreach as well. It's all about celebrating and enjoy. And if you enjoy what you're doing, it's not work. It's really a lot of fun to see. I used to tell when I was a high school track coach, I used to tell all my athletes, I said, my job as your coach is to make you famous. I said, you get out there and do the best job you can do, and I will make you so popular on social media. Everybody will know what race you won and what you did that. And that's what we're doing. We are essentially, I view it, Friends as a booster club. And we're here to celebrate and work as closely with Volunteer Tennessee to boost and encourage and be a support in any way we can. So there's so much I could more say, but that's about where we're at with Friends of Volunteer Tennessee. I've talked to some of you in committee about how we can strengthen those relationships. And I know the ad hoc committee, it will be talking about that. And I want to be a part of that as well. So any questions for me?
I appreciate your help.
All right.
Thank you so much. Appreciate all you're doing. At this time, we need to approve the 2026-28 state service plan as presented earlier. Does anyone have any comments or questions?
I just, as I was going through, sorry, Paul, I did notice that I maybe didn't fully capture the discussion because Each year, at least 75% of counties or 71 counties submit at least one honoree. And I know you all agreed it was either the percentage or the counties, but I didn't track it.
75%.
We said
Was it the
75.
percentage instead of the number?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. All right. In that case, I'm gonna take that part out.
And I heard two committees talk about the word audit and changing that to review. Do we want to make that official as well? Now at this moment? Yeah.
Well, I think, well, my point, I'll just throw it out there, keep time short, but my view of audit is that we have a standard that we're trying to maintain. Review just means, to me, it sounds like we're just looking at it, but with no particular goal.
Well, I think the word audit even has to come backward. When you hear the word audit, like who's officially auditing the information.
Do we have a rubric? Do we have a rubric?
Should we leave it as it is at this time, or do we want to change it to a different word? But I think the integrity by which we are looking at it is similar. We certainly don't have those credentials, but I did hear two committees change it and want to change it. Yes,
Review.
change it to review.
Want to use our color things?
Yes, change it to review. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. Are there any other comments or questions?
We had one change on item number 4. It's just basically semantics, but we wanted to make sure it was clear that we said
About the 75%.
yeah, I think it was, each, instead of saying all commissioners, or just saying commissioners will participate in 75% of the meetings.
Mhm.
We wanted to say each commissioner will, so there couldn't be an average of all the commissioners, but it would be each commissioner.
Okay. We'll see right there, Jim. Okay,
Each. So,
Each commissioner will participate.
everybody in favor of that? Are you okay with that change? Perfect. Okay, thank you. Any other comments or questions? Yes, Eileen?
We have a small wording change to the outcome for goal 1. Yeah, we wanted to, we're assuming that members means AmeriCorps members. And so if we put the word AmeriCorps in there, that would, people would know specifically what we're referring to.
Is everyone okay with that change? AmeriCorps members added to that? Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Oh, and we had in the. Thanks to the sentence here. Oh, okay, at the list, at the very beginning of goal number 1. So 1A versus expand reach to all Tennesseans, for example, Tennessee serves. We were wondering if that should say and America.
Right now it says expand reach to all Tennesseans within Volunteer Tennessee Network and AmeriCorps.
well,
Reason?
the stuff in brackets is just notes.
Oh, okay, that's not gonna show up.
Right.
No, anything in brackets is just notes from the original working committee that helped to kind of formulate the baseline for all of the stuff. Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay, thank you, Eileen. Anyone else? Any other comments or questions? Do I hear a motion to approve the 2026-28 state service plan? Eileen?
Second.
Yvonne, thank you. All in favor, say yay.
Yay.
All opposed, nay.
Those two, you said 26, 28.
2026. Okay, Eileen, would you please give us a little bit of review on the conflict of interest, or would you like for me to ask Jim?
Yeah, so we need to sign our conflict of interest. Yeah, so.
Okay. They're in your packet.
Yeah, you should have a blank version in your packet. It says at the top of it, it says conflict of interest. Oh, sorry. We apparently we didn't put those out. So staff are gonna bring those around.
I don't think they'll run. They're. We had to get there, maybe.
That's inclusive, 26, 27, 28.
Similar to what you did.
I'm sorry.
I mean, that's what we all.
Hey.
Thank you. So if you did the first.
Yeah, no.
But it's the same one you have.
Once you complete it and sign, just hold it up, and Anthony and Candace will pick them up if they don't mind. If you've completed yours, just hold it up.
And staff also need to sign these, so staff, sorry, guys, staff need a copy as well.
They probably just let me get out. No, I'm not.
Do we have extras? Staff need them as well. Yeah.
Does anybody else need a blanket?
Turn in or is that?
It's just.
Thank you.
Then you like.
One's the old one, and I couldn't do anything about it.
Well,
27.
Oh, and I have, so. It's already been one, but
Yeah, it's just a session.
I have those. So yeah. can I have-
But again, it was the phone was. I tried to go with these and try to see.
Anybody?
I did, but you were.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Let's call us back to order, please. Those with conflicts, now I'm going to ask you to recuse yourself or to mute yourself if you're online until after the discussion and the votes are complete.
Yeah, so for the folks in the room that have conflicts, you'll need to
Step away.
step out, and we're probably gonna have to bring folks back in because that's gonna drop us below 4.
I don't know, in 3 years, I've never not had conflict.
Don't look too far. Oh, no, we got four days. I don't even have to tell you.
No, we will drop below 4 with all these people going now. Yes, we will absolutely need to bring somebody back in.
Oh. They're just standing right there. You mean that it's.
If it's been over a year, you're okay. Candace has.
Thank you.
Okay, we're now doing. May I have your attention, please? May I have your attention, please? We're now going to approve, hopefully, the 2025 AmeriCorps formula funding recommendation revision.
And we will, I'm doing a quick count on the quorum. We are gonna have to bring in, at least one, maybe two of those folks.
You don't have Jessica do it.
No,
Okay.
I'm just counting up
Okay.
the folks who,
We're counting to see if we have a quorum or if we have to invite someone back in.
yeah, with the folks who had to step out, that gives us 11 in person. And we have two voting members online, so that would give us a quorum, but we would need to do a roll call.
Okay. Is that okay?
Yeah, it is, yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right. Who's going to present the 2025 AmeriCorps formula funding recommendations revision?
Yeah, let me pull it up.
Okay.
Stop sharing my screen for a second. Yeah, I mean, it's the.
You have
There you go.
Share that. So Jessica, I don't know if you caught that. We dropped
did.
below quorum. And so we'll just need to do a roll call vote for this because otherwise we won't have a quorum. But I believe, and you can double check the numbers because based on your count, we had Nathan Farner, Jason Scott, and Tracy Vandevate all had conflicts. And with the two voting members online, that should give us 13. Because we have
So-
11 in the room.
I only have Kim online and myself. Am I missing someone?
I believe Rebecca Henderson is, Rebecca, are you there?
She left earlier. I don't know if she can.
Yeah, she did not
showing
say
online.
here when I did the quorum check.
Yeah, okay, yeah, so she may have stepped away and forgotten to log off. So Kim, are you still there?
I'm here.
Yeah, okay. So we would need then, in order to get to quorum, we'd need to bring one person from outside. But we would still need to do a roll call vote because we would not have an in-person quorum. So can you just randomly grab one person?
While we wait on them to come back in, can I have a clarifying question? Are you gonna explain this chart?
I'll do my best, but you ask the question first because
I know a couple of meetings ago, we talked about how this funding works. Did we determine if we had funded chamber, particularly, I'm just gonna call it the two high risk, did we determine if we funded them or not?
we did provide funding for the Chattanooga Chamber Foundation.
Uh-huh.
That was the only one that had a high risk that was actually funded. The other one was a bit further down on the list.
Okay.
And so
I'm just trying to figure out how much funding. I didn't know if like we gave the whole request or if that was part of the chart.
it is on the chart. So it was the full amount.
Okay.
Sorry, the scroll buttons don't show up on the screen, so.
No, that's fine. I was just trying to scroll from my phone, so that don't move it. Okay, thank you. I got it.
Did we get our
Yes.
person?
Yes.
Okay. So Jessica, Nathan returned to the room, so I believe that should give us 13 voting members.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Or unless Eileen will.
No, I'm happy to.
Okay. So the only change from this version from what you saw in August, and remember in August, we didn't have a quorum at all, either in person or counting the people online. So the executive committee made the vote that's on the chart that we provided last week, and provided the funding that essentially the grants committee and the staff had worked on that the staff had worked with based on the previous instructions from the May meeting to essentially do our best to fund existing agencies to the best of the ability. After the May meeting, we got our formula allocation. We also then learned that we did better in the competitive process than we expected because we were expecting no competitive programs to get funded. So it allowed us to essentially fully fund the programs at the level that they were requesting. And there was still some money left over, and that's why we then also suggested funding the Chattanooga Chamber Foundation. At the time, in August, we still did not have the funding for Teach for America Memphis. Sorry, not Teach for America Memphis, Memphis Teacher Residency. They were approved for competitive funding, but the funding had not actually been granted because my understanding is that the Office of Management and Budget at federal level was holding those competitive funds, not just for MTR, but for all competitive AmeriCorps programs across the country. They finally released those funds. In August, we were proposing to include money in this chart, the formula funding, to cover that in case that money didn't come through. Well, it did come through. So that gives us the current chart, which there's no change from the August presentation for the top ones. And these are the programs that are in the middle of their 3-year funding process. So they're either in year 2 or year 3. And so there's no change from what we presented in August. Below, the only change in the chart from what was presented in August and then what the executive committee subsequently approved was taking out Memphis Teacher Residency because that funding was eventually awarded. And so we no longer need to include them in this chart. All the other numbers did not change from what was presented in August. And again, that because we didn't have a quorum at the August meeting, the executive committee met and reviewed this and approved the previous version.
Rebecca did, she was on.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Rebecca.
Does anyone have any comments or questions? Do I hear a motion to approve?
I moved.
Eddie, second.
I'll second that.
James? Jessica, will you please do a roll call vote?
Yes. George Bovee. Destiny Brown.
No.
Kim Carpenter Drake.
Aye.
Stephanie Davis.
Here.
Fire nay.
She said yes.
Oh, okay, sorry. It sounded like she said here. Nathan
She did.
Farner.
My fault.
Abstain.
Terry Frank. Amy Gilliand. Katie Goforth. Rebecca Henderson.
Well, Katie is here.
You voted.
So Katie said yes.
Okay, sorry. Rebecca Henderson. Andrea Hill. James Hogard.
Aye.
Holly Jones. Lizette Lopez. Greg Lyles.
Yeah,
Lee Moten. Patricia Powell.
Yes.
Jason Scott. Terry Silver.
Yes.
Tracy Vandevate. Amy Walter. Betty White.
Yes.
Krista Whitney. Eileen Woolham,
Yes.
Yvonne Wood,
Yes.
Suzanne Carr, LaShawn Dixon,
Same.
DeShonta Gleaton,
Yes.
Adam Jarvis,
Same.
Caroline Ledley, Heidi Lemming, Nestor Reyes,
Same.
Nancy Schilling, Jessica Youngbloom, abstain. Okay, so let me. We have 10 yeses.
Thank you. Next, I'd like to call on Eileen to discuss the 2026 AmeriCorps funding timeline revision.
Sorry, the folks with conflicts can come back because this next piece doesn't.
Thank you.
That up. Oh, that's sorry, that's the wrong. Okay, so we really hope that by this time there would be some clarity on this timeline. But remember previous comment about the government being shut down. So our Tennessee funding timeline depends pretty heavily on the release of the federal notice of funding opportunity, which typically we would already have by now. And then we take that federal notice of opportunity and we turn it into a Tennessee specific notice of funding opportunity and put that out to nonprofits in the state or nonprofits, government agencies that want to apply for AmeriCorps funding. Well, we still don't have it, that federal notice. What we have done for the competitive programs, because their due date is earlier than the formula deadline, we provided the competitive programs with essentially last year's notice and told them it's probably, when it does get released, it's probably not going to look exactly like this, but we don't know exactly what it's going to look like, and we don't want to wait until the last minute to get it to you. So we recommend that you go ahead and start working on your applications based on last year's. And because the federal notice isn't active, they can't submit those applications online. So they're going to have to submit them to us directly through a digital format, and then we're going to review those and make some recommendations and comments and changes. So we're doing our best to try and get the competitive applicants ready for, bless you, a due date that we expect will probably be in early January for the competitive. The formula, we can do a state formula funding process without the federal notice because it's up to this body to make the determination on how those formula funds get spent. But we typically model the formula off of the federal version, just to make sure that what the Tennessee formula programs is aligned with what the federal agency is looking for in terms of their priorities, that kind of thing. But we've got time for that because the formula deadline typically is later. But all of that's to say that this timeline is still not right because we still don't have this embargoed funding notice of funding opportunity. So the thing that you all have already approved, which is the key thing, is the stuff at the top of this, which is essentially which programs to send to the competitive process and which ones to keep in the formula. you've already approved that. And that's what we're going, that's what staff is doing. We're going based on what you've already approved at the top. Because again, the timeline itself is out the window. So that's what we're working on. So I think that's a long way of saying that you can vote on this version, but when we put this version together, we had hoped that we would have the notice by the 13th of October, and we still don't have it. So you can vote on this timeline, but we're going to have to change it again. So I think you can, I think it would be safe to table it. I mean, again, we really hope that by now we would have it and we could get you a real timeline, but it's just not there yet.
Do we have to vote on it so we can table it? Is everybody in agreement with tabling this at this time? Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sure they heard us. Okay, Greg, would you like to talk about the election of the 2026 officers?
Yes. Before I do that, we had two vacancies. We have two vacancies on the board. And so we had a number of applications that we went through. And we're sending 7 names to the governor for them to select those individuals to fill these 2 vacancies. So I'll let you know about that. Yeah. Election of officers, Board Development Committee, was fortunate to have, one of our committee members, Ms. Betty, to, author or, I guess, a, application that we approved to send out to commission members so that they can apply for, an office. And so we did. We received those back. I think the deadline was back in October, I believe, when I received those. And so we're presenting to you today the slate of officers for 2026. Chair, Terry Silver. Vice Chair, Jason Scott. Treasurer, Yvonne Wood. Secretary, Betty White. Are there any nominations from the floor at this time? I've seen that there are none. Is there I'm sorry, what?
I said, I move that we close up the slate of officers for 2026.
Is there a second?
That was a little too, that probably was too quick for Jessica to be able to.
So I think it was LaShawn for the motion, and who was the second?
There was 15.
And just, so that was the motion to close nominations, not to.
Oh, okay.
DeShante second that motion to close the nominations on this slate of officers for 2026. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, now, there are no nominations on the floor, so is there nominations to accept the slate of officers for 2026? Okay, to go forth motion, is there a second? Eileen Wallen, second motion. Those in favor signify by a sign of aye. Aye. Those opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Congratulations.
I think we're going to continue with recognition champions of service, 2025 officers and class of 2025 members recognition.
Betty, will you assist me? Thank you. Yes.
We, not for the officers.
Oh,
For the
not for
officers, we just have the.
Okay. Certificate of appreciation, we would like to present to Terry Silver for service. Why? Certificate of appreciation for serving as vice chair of volunteer Vice Chair Walter, oh gosh. For 2025. Bob Wood, Treasurer for 2025. And Jessica, I'm sure we'll mail yours for serving as Secretary for 2025. George Bowlby was absent, the class of 2025. Stephanie Davis. Class of 2025. Terry Frank is absent, we'll mail that one. Amy Gilliland is absent. Holly Jones is absent. And Patricia Powell.
Yay.
I think that concludes our recognitions.
Thank you, thank you, thank you all for your service. Thank you so
Can we
much.
do a couple more door prizes?
Yes, ma'am.
I promised everybody to get us out of here by 2, so if we finish, we will.
Okay.
Fair enough?
Yep.
Okay. At this time, any member of the public wishing to address the commission during the public comment period must make a request by email or phone to Jim Snell no later than 2 business days in advance of the meeting date. Comments must be relevant to the published agenda items. Jim, did we receive any requests for comments?
No.
Okay. Wrap up evaluations, would you like to share about that?
Yeah, so, I'll send it out as follow-up, but for those of you who have a smartphone handy, this is a QR code for the retreat evaluation. So please do that. So for those of you in person, sorry, we're getting the travel forms. So the travel forms. No, I don't need, yeah. I'm gonna project the actual thing. Pass them out to anybody who needs travel forms, please hands up and Candace will get it to you. And while she's doing that, I am going to show you how to complete it. So the travel form. Sorry, it's taking a second to open.
There it is.
Yeah, the travel form, for those of you in the room, looks like this. All you need to do is fill out the part up at the top left in yellow. If you came in on Wednesday, you'd put Wednesday's date, where you came from, and you arrived in Murfreesboro. The times can just be approximate. It doesn't have to be exact. So if you came in Wednesday, you'd have one line. Yesterday would be a separate line, November the 6th. Just put Murfreesboro there is fine. Then today you'd put 11/7 and you're leaving from Murfreesboro, going back to wherever you're going. That's all you need to do up here. Staff will calculate your mileage and put it in these lines, and then we'll calculate the appropriate per diem amount based on the state rates, subtracting the meals that Volunteer Tennessee provided. So it's a bit complicated, so we'll do that for you as well. So if you came in today, if you came in yesterday and leaving today, then you would just have 2 lines. For any of you who are local and have driven back and forth, you would have 2 lines for yesterday and 2 lines for today. So the first one would be leaving from wherever you came from to get here, and then you arrive and you can put the actual address. And then you would be, the second line for yesterday would be leaving here and going back to wherever you're going to after you left. And then today would be the same. So you have from your house or your work or wherever to here, and then from here to wherever you're going back to. So you'd have 2 lines. Again, if you'll make sure the addresses are in there, we'll calculate the mileage for you. We're required to attach a MapQuest, Google Maps type thing to the travel form, so we'll do that. So just put in the address that you're coming from, because we have the address of this building. Down at the bottom left, put in your name, just the last 4 of your social. We don't need the entire thing. Your mailing address.
Shut.
Bless you. Not you.
And your mailing address. And then be sure to sign it.
Should I just tell you that was Kim, just so everybody knows who to make fun of? My dog started barking. I'm so sorry, Jim.
I think we knew. We gathered. So the bottom right, if you'll sign it, and the date is actually on the line below the signature line, so it's a little weird, but please sign it right above where it says signature, and then the second line below, date it right above where it says date.
What about a trip to yesterday's?
Yeah, so if you want to include that, so for yesterday, you would have 3 lines, one from your house to here, one from here to the service project, and then one from the service project to the restaurant. Yeah. And if you want to give an in-kind donation, down in the middle, under where it says additional explanation, just write in-kind donation to Volunteer Tennessee. And we'll go ahead, we'll do the calculation. Please do all the other stuff, sign it, date it, all that stuff. We'll make the calculations, but we won't submit it for reimbursement. And that's how we get that in-kind donation from you, but through the travel form.
Okay, thank you. Tracy, would you like to call out a couple of numbers?
Yes, let's keep them. Who won last? Jason, pick a number from 1 to, I think, 24. I can't remember what the numbers were called before, so
24.
24.
Jessica Youngbloom.
Jessica,
Youngwood.
we'll make a donation on your behalf to the food bank that we visited yesterday. And, will you pick another number from 1 to 23?
2.
13?
Oh, she's covered.
Oh, 2, okay. 2.
Stephanie?
Stephanie.
Did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracy. That
I
is.
can win.
Yes. That is here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stephanie, will you pick another number?
12.
12.
Betty, why? Did you already get something yesterday?
No, I didn't get anything.
Yay.
Okay. Thank you all.
Different numbers today.
Thank you. I know we're a little past 2, but I just want to say this. I'm humbled by your trust and I appreciate it. And I'm open to feedback with anything that I do as chair of this commission. I'm so proud of you. And the most amazing thing for me today has been every single one of you contributing and giving us your knowledge and wisdom and all of us working together to make that state plan what it is. So thank you. I appreciate you so much. And I'd like to hear a motion to adjourn.
Miss Terry, I know we don't have new business on our schedule typically, but I just want to put out a recommendation.
Yes.
For those newer commissioner members, including myself.
Yes,
We
ma'am.
do a spotlight of our committees every meeting, even if it's 5 or 10 minutes of what they're doing, who's on the committee. Just in case I decide I want to move to another committee, I know what the committee's doing and who's on it as well.
Thank
That's
you
what
for
I put
that.
out here.
Thank you for that. And we'll let the board development talk about that as well. Thank you for that suggestion. Appreciate it.
Now we go, now I move that we adjourn the meeting.
Okay, there you go. Yes. Oh, by the way, please make sure that we get these back. Jim's got to have these. Don't leave without giving us these. So we can have your activities and outputs that you shared. Candace?
So also your name tag and also your travel form claim. So we have 3 things that we're turning in. Oh, 4 with the lanyard.
One.
Yeah, we need a second.
Yeah.
I'll get it.
Destiny second.
Yes.
Thank you. We are adjourned. 2:02.
Thanks, everybody.